Hey everybody, this is Joe with GameHolio.com. Today we're going to be reviewing Hitman, the intro pack that just came out yesterday, March 11th. This game is being broken up into a total of 6 episodes. This one and then 5 more that are going to be released throughout the rest of the year. This game you play as Agent 47 like you do in most of the other Hitman games. His character design seems to improve greatly, especially even from the last one, which I believe was Absolution. The realism of the people in this game are pretty up to par for this generation of graphics. Everything seems pretty well polished. Your objective in this game, you're a hitman. Eliminate the target, try not to get caught, try to escape. Each mission has different challenges to overcome and often different targets to assassinate. One example is one guy's trying to escape to Cuba, you assassinate him.
Right. Here it goes. Pull.
The story so far in the intro pack is you're being tested 20 years ago to see how your skills are. It seems like it's kind of the beginning of your game. Once you finish your training, it's on to the actual first mission and the only mission in this intro pack to put your skills to use. The first mission, compared to the trainings and the tutorials, it's much bigger and it's much more time consuming, and it's pretty good actually. The graphics work really well for this type of game. Like I said earlier, for this type of generation on consoles and PCs, the graphics seem really well polished. I didn't really run into too many issues. I'm running a GTX 970 card in my computer, and I have all the settings up to maximum. I run the game perfectly without any issues. My FPSs do fluctuate a little bit between about 45 to 60 frames per second, depending on how much stuff is going on in the room I'm in. If I'm in a room with a ton of people at a party, it drops a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, it's steady, it's constant. There's no seriously bad graphical issues with this game. A few of the issues that I did have were, they were pretty small. Some things would happen, glitchy-wise. I would throw a wrench through the air to knock an opponent out, and the body would fall over, and the wrench would just float in the middle of the air. It was actually kind of humorous, because then you can run back over and pick up the wrench out of the middle of the air. The other issue I had is when I would knock somebody out and I would hide their body into a container, the graphics seemed to be a little jumpy right there. 1 second I would be dragging his body along, and then as soon as I got close to the dumpster, or the crate, or whatever it is, wherever I'm dumping his body, the camera kind of just disassociates itself real quick and it jumps, and there's no fluid motion, and it's just kind of jittery. Those are the only 2 big graphical issues that I ran into this game, and those are pretty minor, and they'll probably be fixed relatively soon. Some of the mobility and the movements that happen in the game, you're either walking, running, or sneaking around. There's obviously no jumping. I mean, you're in a Hitman game. It's kind of silly to be having a jumping ability, because what kind of idiot hitman would be jumping through the air and running around and drawing attention to himself? So I understand why there's no jumping, but going along with that, I did have some issues where, you know, I'd be standing on a ledge that's maybe 3 feet off the ground, not very high, and I can't just hop off of it. That kind of drove me nuts. You'd have to walk around, find a little ramp that drops 3 feet, and then walk back around to where you were instead of just being able to drop. The environment was great. The world is just full of people. I mean, you're walking around, you can all of a sudden start hearing a conversation.
I get it. Safety first and all that.
I don't care. It would be proven useful on a new way to assassinate your target. Going along with that, they also put a thing called opportunities into the game, where if you sit and listen to specific conversations, you can get an opportunity which will give you a different way to go and eliminate or assassinate your target. For example, is if you walk into a room, the guy's talking about how he needs to take a bottle of wine up to the commander. Well, you now know that you can grab that bottle of wine and take it up there, and then you can think, well, if I have poison, I can go poison the guy, and you can avoid a lot of other issues. And that's the beautiful part about this game, is there's so many different ways that you can do everything. It adds to replayability of the game. You start with standard weapons. You're an assassin, so you go in with a Garrett and a silenced pistol. I think this works pretty good, because obviously you're an assassin. You're not going to walk in with an automatic rifle on your back, so it works really well for the story that they're trying to tell. But the beautiful part is you can find multiple weapons, explosives, automatic guns, bricks to hit people with, wrenches to throw at people and knock them out, all sorts of stuff scattered throughout the map that you're in. So even though you start with only a few basic items, there's tons of stuff. You knock somebody out, you can grab their weapon off of them. The audio in this game was very interesting to me. I actually really enjoyed the audio in it. You know, when you're doing the cut scenes and things like that, there's some really epic music going on. They did a very well scoring with that. And so, they did a really well job orchestrating the music to what's actually going on in the environment. Also going along with music, you know, if you get caught or you're trying to sneak, then they turn on some pretty hard music going on.
I got a situation!
To kind of cue you to know that you either need to start fighting or you need to run. It's not a traditional stealth game like Metal Gear Solid or something like that where you have to sneak into a place and everybody is an enemy. In this game, you just need to play subterfuge, essentially. You just need to sneak in, go unnoticed, and then you just need to kind of blend in with what's going on around you. You know, if you're up on a party, you can dress as a service worker, and nobody even bats an eye at it. But if you go up there in a mechanic suit, people are kind of going, what the heck are you doing up here? And it's very interesting on the costumes that you wear and where you're at in the game.
Ready? Buddy, you're making us look bad. Chew your food, why don't you?
I haven't really played too many Hitman games since the original. Played some of the Absolution. I never got through the entire game. It wasn't really my favorite. Not that it was a bad game, that it was just... It wasn't like this Hitman game. This Hitman game, you have to have a great amount of patience for. I mean, there is some times where you need to stand and wait for a guard to pass you, or you need to find a way to distract the guard so you can sneak around him. And sometimes it takes a lot of patience because they stand around and they talk, and of course you should always listen to what they're talking about. Sometimes that's not important.
Yeah, I know it's late, but look, if you just... Look, I only need a lens for my camera. It's an emergency. Palais Walewska. It's downtown at... Yes, the Sanguine Fashion Show.
Well, that's not saying that you can't go in guns blazing, but it makes the game really hard because it only takes about 3 bullets from anybody and you're dead. So you can go in guns blazing, but it adds a whole extra difficulty to the game. I was really on the fence about these episodic releases, but I think this Hitman game is doing a very well job making sure that you just don't get bored with what they already gave you. First thoughts were I wasn't going to like it at all, but the more I'm playing it, the more I'm kind of becoming okay with the concept of it. Like I said, I've completed the one map 2 times, and it's huge. It's taken me a couple hours each time. And I still want to go back to that same map and try multiple ways of doing it. And the other nice thing about them doing it in episodic releases is I'm kind of a cheapskate. So I see a lot of games that are $60 and I go, you know, that kind of seems cool, but is it worth the $60 I'd have to pay to get it? Whereas I looked at this game and go, oh, well, yeah, I could it's only $15. I can throw $15 at it. And if I like it, I'll throw $15 at the next one that comes out. And I do like it, and I do want to throw $15 at the next one that comes out. So I'm kind of coming around to the concept of episodic releases as long as they're done right. And so far, Hitman seems to be doing it pretty good. I mean, I'm going to see how long it takes me to get bored and complacent with what's already going on and having to wait for the next one. But so far, they've kept me in a hold on it. But that's all I really got to say about this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was informative. If you like Hitman, check it out. I definitely would recommend it to you. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to come to GameHolio.com and check out more videos from us. You guys have a good one.